Hi, my name is Peter Jasingha, and along with me is a 1967 Ford Corsair V4 Deluxe. So the Corsair was assembled or manufactured from 1963 to 70 to slot in between the larger Zodiac and the smaller Cortina. The Corsair replaced the 1962 Ford Corsair Classic. Designed by a person called Mr. Charles Thompson. They used the lines of the 1962 Ford Thunderbird of the US and used the extended floor pan of the Ford Cortina to produce the Corsair. The initial Corsairs had a 1500cc engine, and in 1966 Ford decided to lumber in the V4 engine, which came in 1700 and the 2000cc engines. What I have here is a 1700 V4. The first owner was Mrs. Mary Blanche Gunasekara, who was a British lady married to a local engineer who resided at Ceylon Terrace. The car was imported in October 1967, and thankfully all the owners had kept the car in very good original condition. The car was adorned in green. Of course, for sentimental reasons, I changed the color to ermine white, as my dad owned a previous model Ford Corsair which he bought in 1964. As you can see, the car is very original. The upholstery and the interior is absolutely original. The seats, the hood lining is all original. It's a pleasure to drive this car. It's quite heavy on the steering. The V4 engine is a super performer, and it's a pleasure to drive for all the classic car club events which the car ensures to have its presence. And we look forward to each and every event the club organizes. Then also in the 60s, the country also sold a Corsair as a sweep ticket. There was a sweep operation where the prize was a Ford Corsair. Maybe the pick of the litter was the formation of this 2000E Ford Corsair, which was state-of-the-art. It had a vinyl roof and a wooden dashboard. It had what they call the 2000E box, which was a sports box, and it was considered a sports saloon. Ceylon was lucky to have two of these models which were imported, and I believe one was used by the British Embassy and the other was used by the PD of the Summerhill estate in Norelia. Most planters of that era would remember the car as the Pedro Corsair. So this car was in gold with a vinyl top, which was last used by the famous planter Mr. Pandas in restoring a Ford in Sri Lanka. One must always note, Ford engines are very easy to turn around and the mechanicals are very simple. And I would highly recommend anyone who goes in for a Ford. I mean, the ranges are still there. You will find many Fords, Prefects, Anglias, a few Cortinas. Of course, cars like the Corsair are far and few, but it will be a definite experience, and it is fantastic learning curve because you feel every part of the process. The hum of the engine, the hum of the gearbox, and most easily the fact that you can get a car running without much of a headache. So I would suggest anyone who wants to go into restoring a Ford, please go ahead, as they are a pleasure to drive and they won't let you down in a hurry.